When spring ends and summer gets into full swing, it's time to celebrate dads and grads.
Father's Day is huge. It's like graduation every year of being able to say we made another year out of being a father and raising our kids, our sons, our daughters.
Welcome to Taken with Transportation, the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency's official podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Colross. Father's Day was a couple of weeks ago and graduation season has wrapped up. So we're taking a moment in this special episode to honor fathers and recent graduates at the agency. From customer-facing staff to management to the young people who help guide our work, we'll tell you the stories of just over half a dozen members of our SFMTA family. Or rather, they'll tell you themselves. As with our recent Mother's Day episode, please know that our celebration is for everyone. Whatever your relationship with parenthood or to education, this episode is for you and we want you to join the party. So without further ado, we begin with the dads.
Hi, I'm Joe Kibbles. I am a transit operator. Well, I started in May of 2019, so I've been here just over 6 years. In September of last year, 2024, I came over to F-Line. I love the historic streetcars. They are absolutely a joy to ride, and they're so fun to operate. Actually, it's a lot of fun. I have 3 boys. My oldest is Steven. He's 38. My middle one is Garen, and Garen is 26. And my youngest is Luca, and he's 9. I like Father's Day. It's cool. My youngest son he's my world. I mean, still believes in Santa. I'm trying to let him be a kid as long as possible because that's the most important thing to me is that he enjoys his childhood, and I'm making sure that he does. There's a lot of fathers out there, and there's a lot of dads out there. But to be a true parent, you have to really believe in your children, focus on your children, and enrich their lives to a way that when they look back at their childhood that they go, my dad was all right.
Hi, everybody. Ted Graff. I'm the Director of Parking Operations Enforcement. Let's see, I've been with the agency almost 10 years now. The work that my group does makes streets safer, makes the streets move more effectively, efficiently, creates the opportunities for folks to find parking in certain areas and create that turnover in those spots and really be a steward of the city. I'm a proud father of 2 beautiful daughters. My oldest one is Ella. She's 8 years old. My youngest one is Theodora. We call her Thea, and she is 4, turning 5 next month.
So your daughters are still pretty young. They're not driving yet, not worrying about where they're putting their cars that they don't have because they don't drive yet. But do they know what you do for a living? And if so, what do they think of it?
They do know what I do, but they're just kind of grasping with what it is. My younger one isn't tracking, even though, we often will take the cable cars and go, hey, what dad does makes the street safer. And she just looks at me with a question face. My older one, now that we've been spending a lot of time in San Francisco, she's starting to grasp it, but she doesn't really understand, the policy side or the operation side. But I do make it a point to share that what I do is really giving back in that exact way to make the streets safer and make our streets and the city a better place. And that's why I choose to be here as well.
My name is Lloyd. I'm a PCO, a parking control officer. I've been at SFMTA for 11 years. My son has the same name as me. He's a junior, Lloyd Glover Jr., and he's 9 years old in the 4th grade. Father's Day is huge. It's like our graduation every year of being able to say that we did it again. We made another year out of being a father and raising our kids, our sons, our daughters, and just being good at it.
How does your son feel about what you do for a living? How does he feel about your work?
He likes what I do. Sometimes he gets to actually see it if he's in the area or he's just been around. He's seen me working a few times, and he liked the interaction with the public. He likes sometimes when I'm able to walk my area, stuff like that. But, yeah, he liked it.
Hi, I'm Judson. I'm Chief of Staff and Director of External Affairs at the SFMTA. I have a daughter named Cora. She is just now turning 1 year old, and she is just the most amazing human I've ever met. And she brings just a tremendous amount of joy and love to my life every day, and Father's Day is a reminder of how lucky I am to be her dad. Getting around San Francisco is obviously very different with a kid. So it's made me think about all the ways that we at SFMTA make our streets safer for everyone who's trying to use them. And Cora's first trip on Muni was the 44 O'Shaughnessy. We got on right near Green Apple Books on Clement and went down to the DeYoung.
44 O'Shaughnessy to the Bayview District.
And I hope that she enjoyed that trip as much as I did. Right now I drive my daughter. I'm looking for a bike to bike her around with her. We use a stroller. So I just really value the work we do collectively to make it easier to get around the city.
Now we move on to the grads. Our first two actually also are fathers, and we're celebrating their recent graduation from a type of school here at the agency.
My name is Willie Moore. I've been with the city and county in San Francisco for 7 years. And like in March, mid-March, I finished the PCO training program. And then now I'm out on my own, interacting with the public. It's a lovely job. I'm not going anywhere. We keep the city moving. We keep cars from being illegally parked on the streets, try to keep it from being cluttered areas. People just park their cars all on the sidewalks and things like that, and we're here enforcing that. We wouldn't want to have anybody in wheelchairs or people with strollers pushing their kids or people that's disabled having to worry about moving around a car that's parked illegally on the sidewalk. I got 6 kids. I got 7 grandkids. I got 4 boys, 2 girls. I just turned 50. I just had my 50th birthday. My oldest is 31, and my youngest is 18. And like I said, I have 7 grandkids, and it's lovely. My daughter, she's like, Dad, you going to work? You look like the police. I'm like, no, I'm just a parking officer. That's it. And she want to come out here with me one day and see what I do and things like that. But like I said, I just started, so we'll see how that goes.
My name is Harold Laughlin. I'm a parking control officer. I was a transit operator as well for 7 years. Then I was up at a tow desk for a little bit, and then I transferred over here. So this is my 3rd job within the city.
So why did you decide to become a PCO?
I just like the freedom of being out. Being in a bus is kind of the same feeling, but you're in the seat. This is probably more of my upkeep of what I want to do in life. Yeah. I have a 18-year-old daughter. Her name's Aaliyah. She's going to USF. She's going to be a nurse, like her mother. And then I have a 13-year-old daughter. She's in middle school right now. And her name is Alana.
How do your daughters feel about what you do for a living?
My older daughter's not too keen on it. She says, "Oh, you're giving tickets to people. You're mean." My younger daughter is okay with it. But I did tell my older daughter, there's more to my job than just giving tickets. We help out a lot of people. Business owners, they really approach us a lot and say, like, these are our zones. We need these for our delivery drivers. And, it feels good to help them out. I just think we're one piece of a big puzzle. We all kind of work together. We all kind of connect. I think everybody in the city is actually trying to move the city forward and, to a positive and great, better place to live, And I just think that, if everybody just does a little bit of their part, the city will be great, better than it already is.
Moore and Laughlin were in the same PCO training class, and Moore says it could be a little intense.
Ooh, the classroom was the worst part of it all. Having to learn all these codes and all these different citations and violations and things like that, they cram it all into you in 2 weeks, so you really have to study because it could be a lot, really overwhelming. But once you get out that classroom, everything else is easy.
While Laughlin says the future PCOs were able to bond a bit during the training.
Initially, when we're kind of in the class, everyone's kind of in study mode. We did have a couple of opportunities to meet up after work and study like at a library and stuff. After that, we came a little bit more close when we were out and about learning stuff. It was a little bit of a different environment.
Does it create any kind of sense of camaraderie in the classes?
Definitely does, yes, because we always rely on our classmates. When we we can't figure something out, we're the first ones we reach out to. We're all there to help each other. We all came in together.
Our final grads come from our Youth Transportation Advisory Board, or YTAB. This is a group of teenagers that helps us keep the needs of young people in mind as we design and implement our policies and projects.
My name's Mason Ngo. I just graduated from Abraham Lincoln High School. I've been part of the Youth Transportation Advisory Board for 2 years now. We've been involved in a lot of engaging with other fellow youth who are interested in public transit and some of the inner workings of SFMTA, engaging in discussions around the budget situation and service changes, and being involved in reviewing work for a lot of these changes. I am currently in the process of enrolling into courses at San Francisco State I'm majoring in urban studies and planning, still figuring out like all my courses and stuff, but I think in time I'll be able to continue working in like transportation related stuff there.
Am I looking maybe at a future transportation planner?
Mayhaps, I don't know.
Hello, my name is Chanel Marie Green. I just graduated 1 year early from Immaculate Conception Academy, Cristo Rey High School. I'm going to Skyline Community College for a year, hopefully majoring in sociology so I can get on the path to criminal justice system. Hopefully I'll become like a criminal defense lawyer. That's kind of what I want to do and advocate for people who can't. I joined YTAB because I think 2 years ago, I started using transportation San Francisco, but I was constantly confused. I didn't know how buses worked, and I was just like all over the place. I would take the wrong bus and then be lost. I'm like, why not join the YTAB or the Youth Advisory Board to educate youth on how to use transportation so they're not as confused as I was when I first started. My experience has been pretty good. We learned about what SFMTA does and how we can implement youth voices. Just having youth voices in general and having the youth involved in something so they know how San Francisco functions and how they can use transportation is very important. You can't just have a bunch of clueless teens, just like all over the place. They don't know like how to use transportation or anything about politics. It's so good to educate students on that. I'm hoping to stay with the Youth Transportation Advisory Board for maybe another year and just keep on pushing and keep on educating students.
Thank you for joining us on Taken with Transportation. We're a production of the San Francisco Municipal Transportation Agency, and you can find the latest episodes at sfmta.com/podcast, as well as Apple, Spotify, our YouTube channel, or wherever you listen. I'm Melissa Colross. Be well and travel well.